Okay, good morning. I'm going to briefly introduce our teaching program in digital archaeology at Leiden University, where this field of teaching this topic has a long tradition. It hasn't always been called digital archaeology for a long time. What the colleagues have been teaching were computer applications. What we are teaching is very much related to who the teachers are. On the one hand, this is related to the faculty policy of closely linking teaching and research. So there should always be a direct link between what you do in your research and what you teach. And of course, different people have different expertise, and these two dear colleagues have been around at the faculty since the 1980s already, and you might be familiar with certain aspects of their research. Hans Kamermans, who established this at Leiden University, worked very much along the lines of what John Wintliff described in his keynote lecture: sampling techniques, digital field recording, GIS applications, leading over to predictive modeling. And also Milko Wansleben joined the team already in the late 80s. He's teaching statistics, also GIS applications, predictive modeling, and did a lot of research on data archiving. And so that is what has been taught for a long time already at our faculty as a core part of the undergraduate teaching in the bachelor's program, in what is now the bachelor's program. So a couple of years ago, Hans retired, and I joined the team, and then a bit later we were able to hire Chiara Piccoli with a small contract to give additional courses. And once again, we are now teaching stuff that we also do in our own research. In my case, this is, for example, remote sensing and digital image analysis. More recently, we have moved into machine learning. And in Chiara's case, once again, going back to the keynote lecture, you might remember the nice city model of Coronaya that John Wintliff showed. That was Chiara's work. And she's teaching, for example, 3D modeling and procedural modeling, which is a highly popular course among our students. This background informs the structure of our teaching program, and this is an overview. This is constantly evolving, as you can imagine, but there are certain elements that have been that have found a quite stable place in the curriculum. So digital field recording is taught in the first semester, a lot of digital surveying and so on. And this is a very practical course, and this practical knowledge is then applied in the field school. And there's also a course with certain classes on basic statistics and relational databases, very simple level. It's basically teaching students how to collect data and sort them and do some simple analysis. GIS is then taught in the second year. And up until this year, there was a third compulsory course on predictive modeling that was basically a second GIS course teaching basically methods that are used in the archaeological practice in the Netherlands of predictive modeling. This will now be changed from a compulsory course in the third year to an optional course in the second year, because we got a number of complaints from students that this topic is not relevant for everyone. Not everyone works on a landscape scale or in this context. So we will now offer it as a small course for people interested in this subject. Instead, there will be some classes on more advanced statistics in the new program. And then since a few years we're offering master's track in digital archaeology. This is part of a larger Master of Science program in which we also teach material culture studies and bioarchaeology. And here the program gets less structured. It's more about giving students opportunities to choose. So we have been offering a number of core courses, but not all of them each year. 3D modeling is always in high demand. 3D GIS related to that will be offered as a separate course now. We've been able to offer one course on modeling and simulation, and I'm going to come back to that later. And then there are certain topics that are integrated in a larger course, spatial analysis, remote sensing, and data management. But what is also very important is a more theoretical and more reflexive approach about what we are doing with all these techniques and methods. So I've called it here Nature and Future of Digital Archaeology. What is the role of digital archaeology within the wider field? And there is a lot of recent literature on that topic that was very helpful, for example, by Jeremy Huggett and others. And that leads to heated debates in the classroom. So the whole range of opinions can be heard there, from digital archaeology as a mere tool to a science, or digital archaeology equals archaeology. So that's a very nice topic for discussion, and the students have to write an essay about this. But the thing that for me is most important is that this one-year master's program gives the students the opportunity to write a thesis on a subject of their choice in digital and computational archaeology. And this is an overview of the thesis topic so far. This also gives you an idea of the numbers of students that have chosen this program. And you see here a range of, I think, a quite broad range of topics that all have in common that the focus is usually not on a specific archaeological case study, but more on a methodology. So how are we doing research using digital data and computational tool? What does this offer us in terms of an added value? How can we improve the way we do research? So all of the things developed here are usually transferable to other case studies as well. And we have very general topics like, for example, an investigation into NoSQL databases in archaeology, or now I'm looking forward to this one, a student looking into the challenges of long-term archiving of 3D heritage objects, and so forth. So I think the MSc students spend most of their time on their thesis, and this is a new opportunity that they can now focus on these topics within the new program. Yeah. So briefly, opportunities and challenges. Thanks to the work by Hans and Milko and others, digital archaeology at Leiden University has an undisputed place in the program already on the bachelor's level. So we cover basic topics in undergraduate teaching, which leaves room for more advanced topics in graduate teaching. There is also, beyond the regular teaching program, a lot on offer for interested students. We have a very active digital archaeology interest group led by Wouter and others with regular lectures, workshops, and so on. There's also the value group. They are not here in the room, but they are present here at the conference on video games and archaeology. And so there's a broad range of things that people can attend next to their regular teaching. The program is in high demand. There are few competing graduate programs at the moment, which leads to a quite international student population. Our teaching language is English, and this is attractive for many students from abroad. This is also a challenge because an international classroom means that you have people with quite different backgrounds within the same classroom, and it's very difficult to bring them up to speed within a one-year program. So this is a one-year program, and for me this is often too short. I think I would rather prefer a longer program. But anyway, when it comes to thesis writing, we can do a lot with individual coaching. There is a lot of demand for general skills courses, which we would like to offer but cannot due to limited resources. There are constantly changing regulations on levels beyond what we can influence. For example, the format of certain courses is prescribed. We always have to teach 5 EC courses. And then things like we now move from linear teaching to block teaching. This has a huge impact on what we can do. We are also trying out new formats, and I briefly want to talk about this modeling and simulation course again. So we were able to teach this first course in which our students were actually required to code in a scripting language. 2 years ago, thanks to Fulko Schayon and Isa Romanowska joining us temporarily. This was an online course that we developed for this purpose. And we are going to offer this again from September, this time for external paying participants and our students. And if you're interested in this, just yesterday, thanks to Ariana and Philip, there was a paper published about this course and our experiences with this in the CIA journal. So if you're interested, please visit the website.